Industries are going to experience changes, lots of changes, but machines will not take over human jobs entirely. No. A great proportion of human jobs will be affected, but also remember that new jobs we haven't even thought about will pop up. And on to the second part, talking about increased universal basic income. And to assume that an increase in UBI will let the people to a comfortable place where their needs are met and they wouldn't find any need to work, I believe is a terrible misunderstanding of the human nature. Quite frankly, an increased UBI means nothing as long as society still maintains different social classes. In a society where you have all these stratifications of people, all these classifications of people, rich, poor, upper, lower, middle class and all that, an increased UBI means nothing actually, because people are not wired to be satisfied with just having their basic needs met. Now, people are wired to want more, and not just want more, but to attain greater heights than where they used to be, right? And in some cases to have better than others, because it brings us a sense of pride and fulfillment. That's how we are wired. That's how we are wired. And so, in a society with all these different classes of people, increasing the universal basic income wouldn't stop people from working and aiming to chart better courses. So the only way that can have an effect is if you dismantle the whole social class and put everybody at an equal. But for someone to know that they got their basic needs met, food, water, shelter, health care, but he understands that, well, he may not get a certain goal because that goal comes from a certain social class and will be gotten by some other Joe of that class, stimulates this fellow to work as hard as he can to attain the status where he can get that goal, where he can compete with those of that social class. And so that's human nature for us. We are not necessarily satisfied with where we are. We want to get better. Because human beings tend to have an element of comparison within them. And people have got to understand that if we ever get to a place where people wouldn't have to work and get some kind of reward for their hard work, then that would mean the end of our civilization. Why? Because there is an esoteric side to money, which a lot of people do not understand, but which is quite simple though, in that in the pursuit of money, we push further our civilization. We could say, one would be right to say that how far we've come as a civilization has been on the backs of people pursuing money. Because get to think of it, let's say a good majority, let's say maybe 80 to 90% of all the inventions that have shaped humankind, that have shaped our civilization, have been spurred by people trying to get a reward for their hard work and get to lead better lives. So money kind of plays the same trick that nature plays on us with pleasure. So nature, by way of evolution, made sex and food so pleasurable. And in that pleasure lies our continuity. Because if sex and food weren't that pleasurable, we would be extinct. We would have long been extinct, all right? So money kind of plays that same trick in that you go after the money, but hiding behind the money lies an agenda of the gods or the capitalists, I don't know. But behind the money lies an agenda that moves the world forward, that moves our civilization forward. And so actually we should always look up to a time when people are working and having some kind of reward for their hard work. Because like I said before, at any point in time, when we stop working and having a reward for our hard work, then you could come to the conclusion that our civilization has reached its tail end. And I do not think that that will happen anytime soon. It wouldn't. So on that point, first, I believe it wouldn't be a good state of affairs. And secondly, I think there is no such society like that anywhere in the very near future. No. And I think Elon has got it wrong right there. Thank you.